Hi foodie friends, I'm Chef Jessica Ann with Savory Experiments, and today we are making Marry Me chicken. But before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. They come out every single Wednesday fresh for you. Okay, so Marry Me chicken. It was around a really long time before it became viral on TikTok, but now it's viral, it's a thing, and rightfully so. It's delicious. It's so good that whoever you make it for will want to marry you. The other benefit, it comes together in a snap. This is one of those really easy weeknight meals that you need one skillet for and maybe a nice side salad and you're done. Let's get started. Turn on your burner to medium heat. Heat up about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm gonna eyeball that. Let it heat up just a bit. I've already prepared the chicken breast. You can do this with chicken thighs too, bone in or fillet. These are chicken breast. I've butterflied them in half so they're nice and thin. The other option is to use little chicken tenderloin pieces like chicken fingers, or to tenderize them using a meat mallet. The goal here is that they are thin enough that they'll cook fast, but also that they are uniform thickness, because then they're gonna all cook at the same rate instead of having one really thick end and one really small end, and the small end getting dry and the thick end cooking perfectly. To save, again, a little bit of time, I'm gonna put these on in and season them in the pan. Also because then any of the extra salt and pepper will be in the pan to help season the cream sauce. They need to brown about 4 minutes on each side, and when you flip it over, make sure to season the other side with salt and pepper as well. Okay, I've removed the chicken from the pan. I'm gonna let it rest on the side while I make the cream sauce. It is going in the same skillet. I turned the heat all the way down to low as it can go, because if I put the butter in while it's this hot, it'll burn. It's got a smoke point of 350 degrees, and we don't want that to happen. There is a little bit of oil left in the skillet, which is great because that's gonna prevent the butter from burning. And there's some brown bits from the chicken, which is even more perfect because those little brown bits are flavor bombs. Okay, we've got 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter going right on in. There's my spatula. Okay, let that melt. And next goes garlic. Fresh garlic, lots of it. Peel in the paint. Roll on in there. Measure that with your heart. Saute it in with the butter. This only takes maybe 30 seconds, a minute. Wait until you start to smell the garlic, and that's when you know it is done. And it's time to add the flour. We're making a roux here so that we've got a nice thick cream sauce to really coat those chicken breasts. Roux have different intensities. They're generally made from some sort of a fat, in our case butter, and flour. If you let them sizzle here while they're nice and pasty and you let it brown a little bit, that continues to build flavor. That then is going to make your cream sauce even more flavorful. So this is what we'd call a blonde roux, meaning that it's not completely white, it's not a total white paste, but it's also not a chestnutty brown. If it gets to the point that it starts to smell a little bit like popcorn, you've gone too far. It's a great roux, but that's more for gumbo than it is for Marry Me chicken. Okay. Browned here, and now we're gonna start adding our liquids. I have 1 cup of a low sodium chicken broth. Low sodium because we want to be able to control our salt. Whisk that in. At first it'll be a little bit lumpy, but don't worry, it'll all start to integrate in and become creamy. Let that continue to heat while we do our cream. We've got 3/4 cup of cream. This recipe is also very forgiving. If you've got a little bit more or a little bit less of something, feel free to add it in. Okay. I'm gonna let this continue to heat. I don't wanna add in the Parmesan cheese until the cream and the stock have come up to the right temperature. Otherwise, it's gonna sink to the bottom and melt. And I want it to melt in the cream, not to the pan. The cream sauce is simmering. We've got little tiny bubbles, and that's how we know it's time to add in anywhere from a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. You can also use a pecorino if you've got that on hand. Stir it on in and keep stirring until the cheese melts, otherwise it will sink. You can do about 1.5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, a dried Italian mix. And I like a little shot of crushed red chili flakes, not too much. You don't want it to be spicy, you just want to give it some flavor. Okay, stirring that right on in. And then the next 2 star ingredients, sun-dried tomatoes. I love these, foodie friends. I am using an entire jar. If they're not your favorite, you can cut back or don't use them at all. You can also use roasted plum tomatoes instead of sun-dried. And bacon. It's about a half a cup of bacon. Already cooked, crumbled, cut. Everything's mixed in, and that means that it's time to put the chicken breast back into the cream sauce. Give them a nice whirl, spit them over so they're covered. I'm gonna let this sit for 2 to 3 minutes just so that the chicken has time to reheat. Let some of the chicken juice go into the gravy, let the gravy go into the chicken, and then we'll be ready to plate it. We've come to my favorite part. We get to plate our Marry Me chicken. I'm gonna use rice today. You can use a rice pilaf. I love it with creamy polenta cakes. It's also great with couscous or quinoa. Really, you just wanna have something on the bottom to soak up all of that extra sauce because it is amazingly delicious. So we're gonna get our chicken on the plate here. Told you before, I really love the sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna get an extra scoop of sauce. And the last step, do not skip this one, fresh basil. It really just takes it up a notch, gives it those nice herby notes that make it extra special, make somebody want to marry you. It's the perfect meal for a cozy night. From my kitchen to yours, have a lovely day.